All right, let's just jump right in. If you're a creator trying to make stuff in 2026, you are probably drowning in a sea of AI video tools. They all promise Hollywood-level magic, right? But which ones actually work, and which are just designed to drain your credits? Well, in this explainer, we're going to cut right through all that noise and give you a clear, no-nonsense guide to the state of AI video right now.
So, does this sound familiar? You've spent, I don't know, 20 bucks in credits, maybe even more, just trying to get one single, usable 5-second clip. It's a huge frustration, but you're not alone. It really does feel like you're just pulling the lever on a slot machine, hoping for a jackpot that almost never hits.
So to bring a little order to all this chaos, we're going to break it down into 5 parts. First, we'll talk about the AI video gold rush that's happening. Then we'll look at the big commercial players and the open source options. After that, we'll get into the new rules for actually getting great results. And finally, we'll help you figure out how to choose the right weapon for whatever it is you're trying to create.
Let's just set the scene for a second. A year ago, you could pretty much count the real AI video tools on one hand. But now, in 2026, there are over 10 major platforms, all fighting for your attention and your money. It's gone from this niche little tech thing to a full-blown Wild West. And yeah, there's a ton of power. But man, there is also a ton of confusion.
And you know, that really gets to the heart of the problem for creators today. The tools are powerful. There's no question about it. They can do incredible things. But the whole landscape is just messy. It's expensive. And just figuring out which tool is the right one for a specific job is a massive headache. The problem isn't what's possible anymore. It's knowing how to get there without going broke.
Okay, so let's kick things off with the first big category, the commercial champions. These are the big, closed-source platforms that you see all over the headlines. They're polished, they're super powerful, and yeah, they usually come with a pretty hefty price tag.
What's really fascinating now is how specialized these tools have become. After putting them all through their paces, a pretty clear tier list starts to form. Right at the top in the A tier, you've got Kling 2.6. It is just the undisputed champ for cinematic detail, realistic physics, and, this is a big one, native audio generation. It's what you use for pro-level stuff. Also in that top tier, but playing a totally different game, is Sora 2. It has absolutely perfected that raw, kind of glitchy, viral style that just feels made for TikTok and Reels. Then in the B tier, you have the specialists. Google's Veo 3.1 is an absolute workhorse for any scene with dialogue, all thanks to its amazing lip sync and camera control. And then there's Seedance 1.5 Pro, which is the budget king. The price-to-quality ratio is just fantastic, which makes it perfect when you need to generate a ton of clips and can't spend a fortune.
But, and this is a huge but, there's a major catch with the big names. This quote about Sora just nails it. When Sora works, the quality you get for social media is mind-blowing, but using it is exhausting. The content filters are so aggressive and the censorship is so heavy that you end up spending more time fighting the system than you do actually creating anything.
So here's the most important takeaway for this section. Being loyal to just one platform in 2026 is a huge strategic mistake. This is where aggregators, tools like NVIDIA AI or Higgsfield.ai, are a total game changer. They let you use multiple top-tier models all from one place. You can literally run the same prompt on Kling, Veo, and Sora and see which brain understands your vision the best without getting locked into a single subscription. The smartest play is to stay flexible.
Now, let's switch gears and talk about the other side of the coin. For all of you out there who want more control, who value privacy, and who aren't afraid to get your hands a little dirty, there's the open source toolbox. These models offer just incredible power, but they come with a different kind of cost. They need some serious graphics card memory, or what we call VRAM.
Now, for anyone who's kind of new to this, what does open source actually mean in this context? Well, to put it simply, the code is public. You can literally download these models and run them on your own computer. And that means a few huge things. You keep all your data private, you don't pay any subscriptions or per-clip fees, and you have total, unfiltered control over the output. And let me tell you, the open source community is absolutely booming right now. These are some of the biggest names you're going to hear about. You've got models from giant tech companies like Alibaba's Swan or Tencent's Hunyuan Video. You've got massive community efforts like Open Sora. And you have these incredibly accessible tools like Animate Diff. Each one has its own vibe, its own strengths, and, this is key, its own hardware demands.
And this right here highlights the main trade-off. The hardware you have dictates the tools you can use. And when we say hardware, we're really just talking about VRAM.
Think of VRAM as your digital workbench. The more VRAM you have, the bigger your workbench is, and the more complex tools you can use. So, if you've got 8 gigabytes, which is pretty common in gaming cards, you can get started with fantastic tools like Animate Diff and Wan. If you step up to 12 or 14 gigs, you unlock faster, higher quality models like LTX Video and Hunyan Video. But for that absolute top-tier commercial-grade stuff from Sora or the insane photorealism of Mochi, you're going to need 40 to 60 gigabytes or even more. And for most people, that means renting a powerful computer in the cloud.
Okay, now we get to what I honestly believe is the single most important insight for any creator using this stuff in 2026. Knowing the tools is one thing, but actually using them well requires you to completely change your workflow. The old rules are out the window.
So the old way was just prompting. You type a description, pull the lever on that slot machine, and just hope you got something good. The new way, it's orchestration. You're not a prompter anymore, you're a director. You're in the director's chair, guiding the AI with reference images, setting start and end points. You are controlling the shot. And here it is, the most powerful technique in this new playbook, the image-to-video hack. This one trick solves the #1 problem in AI video, which is character consistency. So instead of trying to describe your character over and over again, you first generate one perfect still image of them. Then, you just upload that image to your video tool and tell the AI how to animate it. This locks in the look and feel and gives you results you can actually predict and repeat. It's a game changer.
Now, even when you're using text, your prompts need to look more like a director's shot list. A bad prompt is just, a woman in a lab. A good prompt is specific. Medium shot, tracking forward, 35mm lens, a female scientist in a dimly lit laboratory, inspecting a vial, dramatic side lighting, cinematic style, shallow depth of field. See the difference? By giving the AI all those details, you leave way less room for it to mess up. So the big takeaway here is simple. Stop gambling and start directing.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. With all of that in mind, how do you actually choose your weapon? This last part is all about giving you a simple, actionable plan based on the gear you actually own.
Let's start here. If you're working with a pretty standard consumer graphics card, like an RTX 3060, with about 8 to 12 gigs of VRAM, your best bet is to dive into accessible open-source tools like Animate Diff and Wan. This setup is absolutely perfect for learning the ropes and making some really cool-looking stuff for social media, especially if you focus on mastering that image-to-video workflow.
Now, maybe you've got a higher-end card, like an RTX 4090, which gives you somewhere between 16 and 24 gigs of VRAM. Well, now your options really start to open up. You can run much more powerful open-source models, like Hunyan Video, and you can get great results from commercial tools like Cdance or even Google VO on its standard setting. At this level, you can start making some serious prosumer quality content.
And finally, if you're using cloud GPUs or just have a bigger budget, giving you access to 40 gigs of VRAM or more, well, you've got the keys to the kingdom. You have access to the absolute best of the best. This is where you use Kling 2.6, the best commercial model, or the most powerful open-source options like Mochi 1. Your goal here should be nothing less than commercial-grade, broadcast-quality results.
So when you boil it all down, it comes to this. In 2026, making amazing AI video isn't about finding some secret magic prompt. It's about a fundamental change in your mindset. The technology's here, it's powerful. But to really use it, you have to ask yourself, are you going to keep pulling the lever on the slot machine and just hope for the best? Or are you ready to step into the director's chair?